All right, everybody. John Jacoby here, San Antonio Stop Realtor. Thank you so much for tuning in for the class today. We're going to be talking about some Facebook lead strategies that have been a complete game changer for me. Wanted to give you a little bit of background about myself, since maybe this is the first time that you've heard from me, or maybe this is the first time we've met. So I've been selling real estate here in San Antonio for the last 7.5 years, and I've been very, very blessed to call every single year since the beginning my best year ever. So last year I had the best year ever, and I sold 55 homes as an individual agent. This year I started working on building my team, and before building my team, I was actually part of the #1 team here in San Antonio, and whenever I first joined that team, I had a lot of friends and family asking me, well, why would you give up 40% of your commission? And really, the reason why I did it was to learn from the #1 team. That way I can go out and build for myself. And now whenever I started building my team here at eXp Realty, one of the challenges I encountered was how do you generate leads at a cost-effective lead strategy? I was always used to paying for leads on websites like Zillow and Realtor.com. And if you guys are familiar with those platforms, those platforms charge you a boatload of cash, and when you're just taking a split from other agents on the team, it becomes very difficult to manage the cost versus the conversion of the lead. So I needed to find a better way. I needed to figure out, how am I going to generate leads at a more cost-effective strategy? And I had seen all these agents saying, oh, I'm generating leads for $2, $3 a lead on Facebook, and I really, honestly, I didn't believe it at first, and I had a hard time understanding what they were doing. So I started on this journey, and really my first thing that I started doing was a builder of the week. So I started recording these video recordings. I would go to the builders, make a professional video, had a videographer kind of follow me around, and I was getting a ton of views on the videos, probably over 10,000 views for every time we would release a builder of the week, which I think is great for branding, but it wasn't generating any leads at all. And I was like, well, why am I doing all this? Why am I taking all this time and effort and energy to record all these videos, and then I'm dumping ad spend in, and then I'm not getting anything out of it? I was like, well, this doesn't make any sense for me to do this. So I started on this journey to figure out what do I need to do to generate leads at a cost-effective rate. And so I started doing a bunch of different research and a lot of different testing to figure out what would actually work to start generating the leads. And at first I had the lead cost at like $7, $8 a lead, and I was like, well, I know it can be better. So I kept testing, kept trying, kept doing one thing after another, and finally, after months of going through this, I finally, and I call it the Christmas miracle, because it was the day before Christmas when the leads started pouring in, and my phone started buzzing, and lead after lead after lead started coming in. So I wanted to share with you exactly what I did, or what I'm doing today to generate leads at a very cost-effective rate. And as simple as it may sound, or simple as it may be, it's not really something that it comes common sense. So I want you to definitely take what I share with you and use it to grow your business. Use it to attract other agents to your teams. Use it to do what you can to get yourself to that next level. First thing I want to share with you is a principle that I've done a lot of studying with different marketers and different salespeople out there, and one of my favorites is Russell Brunson. So Russell Brunson has a course that's out there called it's a 30-day course, and I enrolled for that online, and he shared with me something that was very, very critical to this whole process, which is called offer hacking. And really what offer hacking is you're able to kind of ethically see what your competitors are using for their ads, and then you have all these big companies like the builders and all these other real estate companies that are dumping in huge ad spend, and they're able to split tests and they have the budget to do it. So what we want to do is kind of see what they are doing that works. So I'm going to flip this over and do a screen share. I'm going to show you exactly how offer hacking works and how you can get more ideas, how to create that, how to put together ad creatives that actually convert. So this will be the first thing that I'll show you today, is going to be the offer hacking. So let me see if I can flip this around to do a screen share for you. Okay. Okay. All right, let me okay, so first thing I'm going to show you is there's a pretty large builder, and I think they're national here in San Antonio, called Lennar, and you know, they're all over the United States, so you know that they have a pretty significant budget to work with. So what we're going to do first is now you can see exactly what kind of ads these companies are running here. Close this out here. So if you go to any business page at all, you can actually go to their posts right here, and you can actually see what their ad creatives look like. Let's give us a minute to load up here. So you can see here, would you like to take a seat and have a bite to eat in this kitchen? So they just have a question and a single image, and then they have a little bit.ly link. And then here's another one. Here's just three images of a house. How would you like to call this place home? Designed with family at its heart. You can see that each one has a little bit.ly link. So they're using a lot of single images. So I wanted to share this with you because really any Facebook business page, if they're running ads, you can take a look and see exactly what kind of ads that they are running. And this gives you an idea of different content that you can model for your own use. So what you can do is take a look at what some of your competitors are using, and then gather ideas, and that's going to help you. That's going to help you find different creative to use with your ads. And now, if you now it's really important that it's really important that when you are running Facebook ads that you make sure that you have a Facebook pixel installed. So I'm not going to be sharing exactly how to install a Facebook pixel, but that's a really important part of this, because what it's going to do is going to help optimize. Now, when you first start running ads, Facebook doesn't, they're going to start to improve the algorithms over time to actually be able to deliver better delivery of ads, and what you always want to do is run conversion ads, and the thing about it, the conversion ads, is you cannot run them unless you have a pixel installed on the website. So definitely would encourage you to go onto YouTube, see if you can find some information, make sure that that is installed, because the ads get better over time, and that's really kind of an important thing to know here. So I won't be diving in too much detail on that today, but want to make sure that you know that in order for you to use this strategy that I'm going to share with you, that needs to be a part that you have in place. So really important. Okay, so I'm going to go back to a screen share here, and I'm going to dive into the actual ad strategy. Okay, so now that I've shared with you what kind of what the principle is behind offer hacking here. See if I can. I am going to go to the Ads Manager. Okay, so now Facebook Ads Manager can be very confusing if you're a newbie, but you want to make sure that you have a business page set up and your Ads Manager account set up, and that way you can work. You know, a lot of times the ads that you're running it's not a post that you put on your website or your business page. You of course have to have a business page in order to run Facebook ads, but So I'm going to share with you first some of the results that I've received over the last several months. We'll start it um, back in February, so February till end of June. And of course, the ads manager is where you're going to track all of the activity that happens here. Just give it a moment. Okay, so I'm filtering it out for the last several months just to share with you kind of, so I want you to see what the cost per ad or a cost per completed registration. Now, a completed registration is when somebody registers on your website, the Facebook pixel fires and they can see that it's a completed registration. And just to share with you some of the results that I've received, we are generally, like I mentioned, getting ads between $2 and $4 per ad. And for example, this one ad here, 209 completed registrations at $3 a lead. So I, of course, paid $675 for 209 leads, which is an insane return. Of course, it's how you handle the leads and how you follow up with the leads that really makes a difference. And this is the reason why I've been able to build out my team, is because of the cost per lead is good. And then, of course, I coach them on what it takes to actually convert the online lead to a meeting. And of course, if you can get the meeting, you get the sale. So, so this is just kind of an example of some of the results that I've received over the last few months off of a few different ads. And now it may take you a few tries to get this 100% right. So it is a practice of trial and error, but I want to share with you one of the ads that has worked for myself here. So for a couple months, we were running a 500 down ad. So, and this typically applies to builders. A lot of times builders will take $500 down. And really what you're trying to do is just create a good hook. That way people get hooked and then they register on your website and then you can go from there. But it's what I'm going to share with you after I share with you this ad creative that really took me the longest time to figure out here. So I'll just kind of share with you what the ad looks like. Okay, so I was running this ad for a few months now. Search new homes in San Antonio with our easy-to-use website. Any house, 500 down, search here. So really all you're doing is placing that hook, and then somebody that's looking online, that's looking in the area that you're desiring or targeting. And I'm going to share with you exactly how to run the ad and how to go through that process here shortly. So this is an example of one ad that I was running. This is just one out of the many that we've had success with. But search new homes in San Antonio with our easy-to-use website. And, of course, you can see that it is very kind of similar to what Lennar was running, which is just a single image. It's got a little bit.ly link in there. And then from there, that's where we drive this traffic to is the next piece of this that I'm going to share with you. So it's really important that you have some kind of website set up that has the ability to capture leads. So I'm going to set up a new ad live here, so that way you can see what my process looks like when we go through the ads, okay? And then at the end of all this, I'm going to, of course, do a little bit question and answer. If you have any questions, please save it, and I'll be able to address any questions you have. Okay, so we're gonna go in and we're gonna create a new ad today, okay? So I know I'll need bit.ly open, and I know I'll need my website open. Of course, we're gonna drive the traffic to the website. Now, bear with me just a moment here. I'm going to create a brand new fresh campaign. That way you can see how this process goes from start to finish. Okay, so we're starting a new campaign. You can see that I went to, and I'm just going to do this one more time so I can make sure to explain this to you. Okay, so you're going to go to create. So you have this in the ads manager. You're going to go to create. So you're going to create a new ads campaign. Now it's very important that when you're running these ads, always want to run the ads for conversion. So we're going to run a conversion ad, and we're going to run this ad. So we'll do craftsman style homes in central San Antonio. And of course, you want to kind of reverse engineer and kind of think about who your target audience is. But we're going to just run an ad for conversions, try to generate some leads for maybe older remodeled homes in San Antonio. And I'm going to share with you exactly what we're doing here. So, okay, so we're going to label the ad set craftsman style homes in central San Antonio. And now this is a reason why the pixel is important, because when you have a pixel installed, you can actually run and optimize the ad on your website for completed registrations. So this is a huge part of it. It took me a long time to kind of figure this out, but completed registrations is what you're after here. A completed registrations is essentially a new registration or new lead that comes through. So the next thing is going to be targeting. So we're going to make sure to run your target in the right location. So we'll come down to San Antonio, Texas. And now this is, doesn't matter which area of the country that you're tuning into this live stream from, you can do the exact same thing. So we're going to be targeting kind of in this central San Antonio area. So a lot of these homes are getting remodeled, so we're going to really just kind of focus in and target that area. So we'll go with a 5-mile radius. Okay, so we have the area picked out. Now Facebook is going to show this ad to folks that are just in this area, this section of San Antonio. Doesn't matter if you're in Florida, Jacksonville, or Sacramento, California, or doesn't matter where, but you want to make sure that you are targeting the right area for people who are actually looking. So, for example, when I run an ad for new construction homes, I know that people are, a lot of times they may be in this area here, but a lot of those folks want to trade up their homes and buy out here outside of 1604. So you want to kind of think of where your target audience is, or who you're targeting with the ad. Now, you want to try to get the demographics as good as you can. And of course, Facebook is going to start to optimize this over time. Now, we know that people that are just getting out of high school, they're probably not buying a house right away. So we're going to say everybody from the age of 23 to 45. So we're looking for that kind of younger age criteria here, that, a lot of times when people are getting married or getting a better job, a lot of times they want to look for a house at that point in time. So we're going to go for detailed targeting. So these are now, Facebook is not going to have this the first time you do this, but over time it's going to start to give you suggestions. So we want to look for people who are house hunting, maybe first-time home buyers. This is interesting because Facebook actually knows who is looking on Zillow, so it's going to target those same people from Zillow, Starter Homes, Trulia, and maybe mortgage loans, and people who are looking for pre-qualifications that may be looking at maybe looking on, well, not Redfin. Let's see. Okay. Very good. Okay, so that maybe first-time homebuyer grants. Okay, so these are the interest targeting categories that I'm going to target with the ad. Of course, they are saying between 17 and 49 conversions or leads if we run this. And now another thing is you don't want to waste your ad spend. So we want to make sure that we are filtering out other real estate agents. We're going to filter out real estate, other real estate brokers. Maybe we want to filter out the Keller Williams people, or just you want to make sure that you are. Sorry about that. You want to exclude people that are other people in the industry, like other real estate agents, because we are not trying to target other real estate agents with these ads. Otherwise, you may have some agents out there that are just going to see what you're doing. So just go ahead and filter them out. Maybe go with some of maybe the big box shops, Keller Williams, Remax, Century 21. You want to just cut all those people out so they don't see your ads here. And now you can save the audience. Of course, I have several audiences saved, and over time you'll see what works for your market. But the audience is the area, the exact interest targeting, and then what you're excluding, and that should be good to go. Okay, so next you're running the ads for conversion. Now, whenever it comes to budget, I would say you want to go when it comes to budgeting for Facebook ads, you want to make sure that you are not going in too light, because before you used to be able to spend $5, $10 to get results, but you want to make sure that you're putting in a significant amount to be able to actually see some results from this. So I would say anywhere between $10 to $20 if you're just kind of getting started with it. Maybe start on the lower end, about $10 a day, and then scale it up to anywhere from $20 to maybe $30 a day max per ad here. So we're going to go back to the share, and okay, so we're going to run this one for $20 a day here. Okay. All right, so $20 a day, 17 to 49 conversions. And now, initially, when you're first starting this process, I would recommend just starting your ads, running ads with a single image first. So, and this is what I've seen the best results with, is just a picture of a house, like a cool looking house. If you can maybe use one of your listings or use one of your colleagues' listings, and it doesn't even have to be a house that's on the market right now, just kind of an eye-catching house that gets people's attention. And I've had a lot of success with single images, and they're the easiest to set up. So again, we're going to do Craftsman style homes in Central SA, and this is a conversion ad, and what we're going to do is I am going to drop in a picture here. And here's just a random house I found online here. Okay, so we got the picture of the ad. Okay, now we're going to use, you want to try to keep the sales copy up at the top, probably no more than 2 lines on a mobile. So, okay, so search, remodeled homes in central San Antonio on our easy to use website. Okay, so we just have a little bit of sales copy there. Now, what I found is this learn more button. People are really, they know what it is, so you don't really have to do that. So we're going to go with no button. And then I'll show you where to grab the URL here shortly. Okay, remodeled homes. You want to just kind of reinforce to use the website. So remodeled homes, Central SA, search here. We want to try to keep it in 1 line. So you want to just kind of play with the copy. I know that this one is not like, there's a little, those are stuck together, but no big deal. You want to make sure that, I don't recommend using a learn more button or anything like that. So just remove the button, and we're going to get this newsfeed link description when we go on our website. Okay, so the next step of this process, and this is the most important step, and this is what took me, a lot of trial and error to figure out. And I know if I reached out to you prior to our meeting, I recommended that it's very important that you have a website set up that is able to hello? Okay. All right, so I'm going to move on to this next step here, okay? So we are going to share with you on our website. Now I'm using the Real Geek system, so every website is a little bit different, but really one of the key components of making this successful is you want to make sure that you have the ability to run a search on your website. So we know we're going after craftsman style homes, and a lot of these are older remodeled homes. So we're just going to target the area that we're looking for homes here. So I'm going to run a search on my website. This in this area here. And want to look at new listings first. Okay, so now here's one of the most important things about this whole process here is you want to make sure that when you run the ads, where you're actually driving this traffic to is going to be the URL here, and this is what took me so long to figure out over trial and error is going to be wherever people are finding this list of homes, this is what you want to drive the traffic to. You don't want to drive it to the homepage. You don't want to drive it to an information sheet. You want to just run the search for what it is that you're advertising, and then drive the traffic directly to whatever the this long URL is that you're able to pull together here. So I'm gonna just do another quick search here. So 50 to 400, minimum 1,000 to 1,000 square feet. New construction, no. Year built, and then we're looking for let's do another quick map search. So whatever this long URL is here, once you get your kind of search criteria down, you want to drive the traffic to this long URL here, and you want to keep it on a property list. And let's just make sure that that list is okay. So there we go. And we'll go for newest listings first. So get the search criteria down, whatever it is you're advertising, whatever it is that you're marketing, whatever your ad creative is, run a search for specifically the type of house that the house is, and then make sure that it's on a scrollable list here. And then you're going to take that URL, and then you're going to go to Bitly. You're going to create a Bitly link, like a shortened link of it, and you are going to shorten the link. Now, typically when we do these search results, it's usually a really long URL. So, but I'm not going to take a whole lot of time to get it all perfect. But long story short, find out, drive the traffic right to the search results, and you are going to use that Bitly link. You're going to add it into your copy here at the top, and you're going to run the traffic there. So let's see here. All right, so you can see it's all on 2 lines here, and we're going to promote this URL, same URL, and we're going to get rid of that Learn More button. Now, the first time you do this, it can be a little tedious getting it perfect, getting it right, but it's really important that you run it this way. Okay, remodeled homes, remodeled Central SA search. Just, for me. Okay, so we have an ad creative down now. Remodeled homes in Central SA are easy. Search remodeled homes in Central SA on our easy to use website. Remodel Central SA search here. So now when you drive the traffic here, or when somebody clicks on this ad, they're actually going to go to the results of the search. Now you want to make sure that you get this criteria right. Like I didn't sort it out, make sure that it was exactly. But for today, we're gonna just use that as the example for today, and that's pretty much it. Then you're gonna confirm. There you go. There you have it, guys. So, and of course, there's plenty of different ad types that you can do, and you can get really creative. But the main thing that I wanted to share with you is that when you are driving the traffic on your ads, you want to make sure that the traffic that you're driving is not going to your homepage. It's not going to anywhere other than the search results for what it is that you're advertising. And it's really important that on the search results, because what's going to happen is people are going to click onto that. They're going to click on their mobile. They're going to be browsing on Facebook. They're going to be targeted to exactly what they're going to be targeted exactly by, like, okay, these people are already looking on Zillow, so Facebook knows that. So it's going to pull those people all together, and then it's going to run a conversion ad. So it's going to target people who are more likely to actually convert on that ad, which is actually fill in the registration on your website. And you want to make sure that you have your website settings set up so they're not able to access that information unless they put in their phone number or their email address or their contact information. And now it's really important. And now, you can generate all the leads in the world, but if you don't have a good follow-up strategy, then you're just going to waste time, money, energy, and effort. So I'm a huge fan of Grant Cardone, and I wanted to share with you a few of these stats that I kind of jotted down to share with all of y'all today about following up. So here's a few statistics that I got from Cardone University, that 37% of businesses, only 37% of businesses will actually follow up within the first hour. So if you're following up leads, then you're doing better than like 60% of the people out there. And if you follow up within the first hour, you are 7 times more likely to make contact. 7 times more likely to make contact if you hit that lead within 1 hour of that registration coming through on your website. That 48% of salespeople never follow up with a prospect. 48% of salespeople never follow up with a prospect. Now, 35 to 50% of all sales are going to go to the company that follows up first. So that is crazy. So if you're the first to follow up, 35 to 50% of the business is going to go to whoever just gets in touch with them first. And now there is a 500% increase in lead conversion if you follow it up within the first 60 seconds. 500% increase. And there's a 40% higher conversion rate. Now, this is another thing. There's a 40% higher conversion rate if you follow up a lead by texting when you're on the phone with them. If you text or email them information. Now, part of the process that I use is whenever I grab a lead, I start talking to them. Now you're 40% higher conversion if you email them. So you want to get into dialogue with them, and then you want to email them an exact search that maybe you run on MLS, stick them on a drip campaign there. And so if you're able to do that while you're on the phone with them, then you have a 40% higher chance of converting that lead. So I wanted to share with you those because I think that speed to lead is so important whenever we're handling these leads, because otherwise you may just be wasting time, money, energy, and effort setting these all up if you don't have the right follow-up processes in place. Now it's one thing that I tell my team here is if you can get the meeting, you can get the sale. So it's really all about just getting in front of people. So, I want to encourage you to go out there and generate leads and take some of these strategies I'm showing you into account. And another big thing is I know everybody out there wants to automate. They want to automate the follow-up process. They want to automate auto text responders. They want to put everybody on an email drip. Now, the thing about an email drip is, it is, all right, so I'm looking at a few of these questions here, and I will make sure to address all these for you here shortly. But it's, guys, it's so important that you're able to not, you can't rely on automation because real estate is a face-to-face, it's a belly-to-belly business. You have to get in front of your prospect. If you can't get in front of them, if you can't follow up within 2 minutes, then, and if you're always in a meeting with a client, if you're always in front of somebody, that's the reason why it's so important to start leveraging, when you start generating leads, I think we've been generating probably on average anywhere between 8 to 20 leads per day, every single day. And when it's day after day after day of constant follow-up, of constantly sorting through this, it can become very overwhelming. And if you are overwhelming yourself with and not able to follow up with the leads within a minute or two, then it's time to start building your team. It's time to start scaling your business to the next level to actually handle the lead flow from this information I'm giving you. So, but and that's the reason why it's so important to have a team and to really, I want to share with you kind of what my process is, because I do get very busy and I am always constantly bombarded with leads that are coming through every single day. As the lead agent, as the rainmaker for the team, is your job to be that front of the line person. So when the most important part of this process is going to be when the lead comes in, you want to be available. You want to be freed up to be able to take that call and field that lead, find out what their needs are, and then pass the ball to another agent on the team. So the way that my team is structured here is I take the majority of the calls, almost like an internal sales agent, and I actually field those leads out to other teammates. I have other buyers agents on the team go and sell those leads and I take a 75-25 split. Everybody's a little bit different, but I would rather take 25% of something and then have that buyer be serviced than to drop the ball on what I'm doing now and the incoming lead coming in. So, it's really important that you just have a system and process in place. And of course, if you want to kind of get with me to kind of discuss reason or what my team structure is like, then I'd be more than happy to meet with you one-on-one to actually give you a few more details about what I'm doing to actually convert and at a very high level, one lead after another. And so it's worked out very well for myself, and I think, I would be very, very happy to meet with you guys and kind of discuss what your goals are and what your strategies are. I'm going to start wrapping up the call here, but I wanted to open up the floor to a few maybe questions that y'all have. So does anybody have any questions over what I shared with y'all here today on the call? Okay, let me go ahead and unmute everybody here. Any questions?
Yes, I have a question.
Yes.
I missed maybe how once you get the people to go to your website, how do you convert them? Like, how are you capturing that lead?
Okay, so when they go to the website, they're gonna see exactly the list of houses that are on that. So you're actually driving the traffic to the preloaded search that you're running. So you're gonna filter out a search for whatever search criteria that they would likely look for, or whatever you're advertising on your ad. And then when they actually click on the information, that's when the lead capture box is going to pop up. So you have to have a website that's set up for lead capturing. and you want to make sure that that's where because they're, you know, by the time they pick a house that they want to kind of get more information about, that's where you nab them.
Okay, so you're forced registration, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions, guys?
My question is on listings that aren't getting a lot of action or a lot of activity. What kind of ads are you doing to generate leads on those?
Well, you want to really, it's the same thing. You want to make sure that you are not necessarily targeting just for that listing, but maybe run an ad for, you want to kind of reverse engineer who your ideal buyer is going to be. So if you have an ideal buyer, it depends on the house and the location. Now, some listings are just, you know, difficult listings, but, you know, and now if you have something that's a really great house, then you want to make sure that you're kind of targeting where your ideal buyer is going to be. And then it's more of a general. So you want to just kind of generalize and put that listing out, and maybe make that listing the actual ad creative. So that way, and run a search on your website, and then drive the traffic to the search where that listing is going to pop up. That's what my recommendation is on that.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Any other questions?
John, did I hear you say that you personally, because you're the rainmaker, essentially you navigate through contacting the people who you get as lead capture, and then maybe you pass that on to your team members?
Yes, that's, you know, in my opinion, that's the most important thing is initial contact. So I want to make sure that every lead that comes through, I try to, you know, unless, you know, and I have one other leader on my team that is really good on the phone as well. And if I'm in a meeting, if I'm tied up, then I pass it on to Andrew on my team, and he fields out the lead and then passes it on to agents that we have under him in the organization. So we have, you know, EXP is a little different. So we are able to bring on agents, and so I've brought on agents under Andrew, so that way to handle the overflow. So a lot of times if I'm in a meeting, what I do is I actually field the lead, and I'll usually only have like maybe one conversation with this person, try to go for pre-approval, get them pre-approved, find out everything that they're looking for, and then I pass it on to another buyer's agent on my team. So currently, you know, my team has 7 agents. It's one transaction coordinator, and then it's me and Andrew. You know, I take the majority of the leads that are incoming, and anything whenever I'm in a meeting, I pass it on to Andrew. So he's the one that he kind of is the backup if I'm busy with something. But what I do is I take the lead, find out everything that they're looking for, and I just pass it on to another agent on my team. I give them all the information, and then you know, and it's pretty cool because, you know, if I grab a good one and I pass it on to my teammate, then I don't even have to worry about it. But whenever they close that deal, then of course we earn a percentage, or we earn our team split. So so that's how we're able to handle it in volume. Is you know, we want to make sure that the initial contact is what we're grabbing, and then we pass the lead to another teammate that has the actual time to actually meet that client, show them, and find them a house, and then of course then that teammate passes it on to the transaction coordinator that handles it from contract to closing.
I guess that people who click and then get to your website and then register, clearly they can be in any part of the process. They could either be 6 months away or, you know, immediate need. So I guess you call them, you contact them. You might get people who don't want to talk to you, but if you're getting someone who's, well, we're just looking right now, do you just put them like on an email drip?
Yeah, what we have set up is we have about it's about 6 months of emails that automatically go out, and the system that we use is the Real Geek system, and really what we try to do is when we initially make that conversation with the buyer and we're able to find out what they're looking for. Now, some people are just, there's always going to be people out there that are just like not even interested, but if they have any interest whatsoever, we know that they're maybe in a lease agreement that doesn't expire for another 3 months or 4 months. Then what we do is I will have the agent on my team actually filter out a search for them and put them on the MLS strip with whatever their criteria is. And then of course on MLS, you can see who's logging in, and you can see like, I'm not sure how your system is, but I know in our system, we can see who's most active or who's actually logging in and looking, and those are our top prospects.
So you put them on the MLS as opposed to your website search.
Correct. And,
okay.
and what we typically do, and everybody that registers on the website gets put on an email drip. So we do have some automations in place, but really anything that's a good one, we want to pull it out of that system and we put it into another little CRM called Airtable. And that's how we track. It's always kind of like sifting and sorting. You want to try to, if it's like a dud lead or they don't answer their phone, then I just kick, I don't even bother with them. I just let the automations take place. But if it was a live call and there was actually a need there, then I'm actually going to put them on my MLS system to drip the listings that way. And from there you can see who's most active on it. And that's who we focus on.
Thank you so much.
Yep, you're very welcome. Any other questions? All right, guys. So I wanted to thank you for taking the time out today to absorb some of this information. I know it may be a lot, but I'm going to be, I have all of this recorded, so I want to make sure that if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me anytime. You can find me on Facebook, John Jacoby, and of course, I'd be happy to of course, maybe meet with you one-on-one if you have any more specific questions about what the processes that I use that I've been successful in. And of course, and some of the reason why I provide this value is of course EXP. Everybody knows about EXP now, so I won't go into too much detail, but if you do want more information, then please visit my website, theexpansionguide.com, and that's going to give you all the information you know about our company here, and I'd be happy to partner with any of you and hope to be able to provide more value to you and help you grow your business any way that I can. Of course, I've been very blessed, very fortunate to have success in the industry, and I've tried just about everything that you can possibly think of, and so we have it kind of fine-tuned. Of course, lead generation online is only half of my business. When I look at my numbers, it's almost 50-50 online leads and relationship building. So you want to make sure that you have two separate strategies for online lead generation and also your relationship buckets. And of course, the online leads become relationships over time. So hope this was of tremendous value to you. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me if you have any questions. Please visit my website, theexpansionguide.com. And also, if you want to check into my website or look at how I have it all set up, search engine optimization is a huge thing that I've invested a lot of time in. So take a look at my website that we generate the leads from, ghsanantonio.com. Of course, I can't guarantee that the results are going to be very similar, but I hope that this works for you. I hope it provides tremendous value, and would love to partner with each and every one of you maybe someday. So thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you guys soon, and we'll see you on the next one.